Kamal, I'll declare the meeting open at 6:04. Welcome to members of the public gallery. Start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay respect to elders past, present and emerging. Record of attendance. We've got all elected members here in person and all officers there. Apologies, nil. Leave of absence. We got one request there from Moody.
That'll be 0.6.
Oh, yep. Again, so yeah, response to previous public question taken on notice. Nil. Point 4, public question time. Would anyone in the public gallery like to ask a question? No questions, no worries. Okay, point 5, declaration of interest. We got one there.
Thanks, Shire President. We have one from Councillor Richardson for the confidential item 15.1. Councillor Richardson has declared a financial interest, so Councillor Richardson will leave the chambers for that item.
Thanks, Matt. Point 6, applications for leave of absence right now.
Thanks, Shire President. We've received one from Councillor Moody from the period of 13th of August to the 24th of August. And yep, so we need someone to do that.
Yep, I'll move it.
And the
seconder, Councillor Miliceski. All in favour? Yep, that's carried. All right, 7.1, confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting. Do we have a mover that the minutes and associated attachments of the ordinary council meeting held on the 17th of June 2025 be confirmed as a true and correct record?
Yeah, I'll move that.
Move Councillor Moody. Second, Councillor Layton. Anyone want to speak on that motion? No. All in favour? Yep, that's carried. Right, 11.1, committees of council. So 11.1 is Ravensthorpe. Oh, jumped the gun there. What happened there? Sorry, my apologies. Point 8, announcements, reports by elected members. We'll go around the table. Yeah, let's start with on my left, Councillor Moody.
Yeah. I went to the Welga meeting in Albany with Tom and Matt, and we had Minister Reece Wimpy there, which was good. He was very listened well to what everyone brought up, and it was quite a few issues were brought up about housing, the grow housing, and roads, and a few other issues were brought up as well. Also at the meeting there was someone brought up about how the doctors or the shires are not getting enough funding from the federal government to help with the doctors, so they were sending a group over to Canberra to try and raise the amount that the federal government could give the shires to help pay for the doctors. So I think that's been done, and I think we've received an email about that. So hopefully something comes of that. Another interesting thing, and luckily doesn't affect us very much. Our rates are paid very good. There was one shire said they were still unable to collect 30 or 40% of their rates. Can't remember who that was now. Might have been Katanning. I can't remember now, but they had a big issue with that.
Yeah.
What else was there? About all, I think, from that meeting that I can remember. But we then went from there to the budget launch from the state government, and there was a few interesting things come out of that. Albany are getting a heap of money to upgrade the airport, and I think they're hoping to be able to take bigger planes in there, and I think their aim eventually is to have direct flights from over east straight into Albany. So that might actually be a good thing for us and tourism. because they'll be a lot closer to then travel along the south coast and maybe to Esperance and then fly back to Perth or whatever. So that was interesting. And actually also it was brought up that maybe Rex might be going to lose their what do you call it, tender, or not sure, but we'll watch this space with that. They are putting 6.7 million in to support DFES in rapid response two-strike air teams to help with crop fires throughout the state. That was good. That'll help us to have I don't know where they're going to be based, but they're just going to put them around the place. They were investigating, the government, state government are going to investigate buying back the rail, which doesn't affect us in Ravensthorpe, but it will affect all the farmers because the rail stays the way it is. Freight rates are going to go very expensive. So if they can buy it back off people that have got it now and fix it up properly, and the price they buy it back is going to help keep the freight rates down. It's a bit of a complicated thing, but it'll be a good thing if they do buy it back. South Coast Highway was raised, but they'd promised 50 million to do a small patch near Albany, and then they only gave out 25, and then said they were promised to do it in the next few years. So that was a bit bad to hear that, especially when they went to election saying they're going to give us 50 million and didn't. Yep, and that's about all I think got out of that meeting. Yeah, it was actually very good to go along and listen to other shires and all the different problems they've got. And yeah, so that's it for me.
Yep. Thanks, Councillor Moody. Councillor Miliceski.
I've got nothing of mine.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Councillor Mansell. No worries. Councillor Gibson.
Yeah, on the 25th of June, I went to the first RPAG meeting, which is the Ravensthorpe Tourism Advisory Group, just as a council observer there, and that was had a great first group meeting with a great, a good variety of members. So hopefully that's promising. A group there that'll be, meeting again. I don't know how often they're actually going to meet, but so that did seem like a worthwhile thing that's going ahead. On the 28th of June, I went to the Readers and Writers public speaking event. There was about 7 people there. Some travel from Esperance for it as well. And then on the 1st of July, we had the second road group meeting, and we met there with a group of members from RAIN, and we were discussing then about how we could work, the Shire could work with RAIN for the up-and-coming harvest event, and talking about graders and how we can utilise them better, and drivers and that kind of thing, and how we're going to try to get out there better communication as well with farmers and people on the roads for that. So that was good. And then on the 1st of July, we had corporate discussion, which was followed by a special meeting. And then just on the weekend, we had our Mungala football exhibition match against the Ravensthorpe District Football Association. And Mungala did win that game, kind of quite convincingly, but there was some very good skills out there, so it was good to see. Matt and Rod attended, Tom played, so there was a lot of people there, over 200 at least. We sold 148 dinners and 90 odd buckets of chips, and there's a lot of people that didn't obviously buy dinner. And then we awarded our 8th life membership to Kate Featherston Horn, who's committed near 40 years of a really high commitment to community. So that was very nice to do that. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Gibson. Councillor Richardson.
Yes, I attended the Bits Gallery exhibition opening evening. Compliment them on the standard of the work that was there. I get a feeling there wasn't quite as many people attending as has been in the past, but nevertheless it was a very good event and a very good standard of entries. I also attended the FBCC meeting. I think they are progressing now, but I'll hand it over to Councillor Laird to do a full report on that.
Thanks.
Well,
Yep. Thanks, Councillor Richardson. Councillor Layton.
Yep, I've did since the last meeting, the Ravensthorpe Wildflower Show. So that was a pretty good meeting to get to. It's pretty well on track to getting the program printed, but is out there digital if anyone is interested in that. We've got lots of people coming in from interstate as well, so bookings are open and selling. Further's almost half sold out already from the first few days, and first person to book was anything on the humanities order was Councillor Moody, so congratulations. I was going to bring you a bunch of flowers, I thought maybe next time. I attended the MCG meeting, which is the Mangala community meeting on the 24th of the 6th, I think it was. That's what I've written down anyway. And that was good. A lot of talk about the footy game coming up, which apologies for not making it, but I'm attending somewhere in Perth. The 25th to the 6th was the South Coast Tourism Workshop that we had via Zoom and up at the council meetings. And that's the group that's sort of like a working group that call it a working group when you have discussions between Albany and Esperance and us on the way. So that was quite good, and followed up then with the RTAG, which is the inaugural meeting, Ravensthorpe Tourism Advisory Group. And I found that was really good. So being the first meeting, it was just getting to know everybody. We had good representation from the community and other bodies like the CEO of Australia's Golden Outback, and we also had Sophie from GEDC and Peter Hartley from DVCA, plus all the community groups, and that's made up by business people and people from the community. So it's really good, and it's one that will be an advisory group that we can all work together on marketing and promoting the area, and then being, pushed towards government to help out in certain ways. So it's been really good. That's years ago there was one called Ravensthorpe Hopetoun Area Promotions and called RAPS. So it sort of died off when we've got tourism officer. Now it's gone back to we need to go and support that tourism officer as well. And I zoomed in on a collab meeting, so the community collab meetings that all the groups can just have lunchtime meeting on a Zoom once a month or in person every 3 months. That was interesting. We hear about what's happening around town. Otherwise, we don't know because there's too many calendars out there to track down what's happening. I went to the Readers and Writers Festival, so I went to the breakfast greeting one, and 4 or 5 of the other events. And I thought it was a really good event. I have to take my hat off to probably to all those people who are quietly behind the scenes doing things. Take my hat off to the Shire for supporting it as well. And I think it was really good. I've been to a lot of writers' festivals, and I think going to this one was more homely as opposed to listen to somebody who's a dot down on the bottom of the stage and you're up in an auditorium, and then you might get a glimpse of them later on. We actually sat with those writers and the authors and listened to everything they had to say. It was really good, and they made you work as well. So I thought that was really good. So, and got a good write-up in the paper on Saturday, because one of the main attractions, or one of the guests there was Willie Oman, who was a writer for West Australian and also headed the Readers and Writers Festival Writers of WA. FBCC meeting was just a workshop, so it's a gathering of the Fitzgerald Biosphère Community Collective, and it was really a workshop to work towards becoming incorporated and how they set up their constitution and things like that. So it's not a lot of stuff to go out there. Only, few things that came in was that there's detractor dogs now available for dieback working group. So you can get a little beagle and come out and sniff your car for dieback. So it looked like we might be having one of the dogs come to the wildflower show, which would be a good exercise to get it out there because it's such an insidious disease. think that was possibly the main thing. And the other thing, community-wise, Mary Richardson, I call her a matriarch of Hopetown, turned 90. So on the 11th of July, and that was just, it's beautiful to see that. So I think that's about it.
Thanks, Councillor Layton. Yeah, so since our last meeting, I, along with Councillor Moody and Matt Bird, attended the Walga Zone meeting in Albany, followed by the state budget meeting. And yeah, both those meetings were attended by Minister Reece Whitby, who was, fairly receptive to our local government group and our queries and questions we had for him. He did also make somewhat of a commitment to come to Ravensthorpe later in the year, so we'll see what happens there. He may, it'd be good to have him here, and because the Ravensthorpe is hosting the next Walga Zone meeting in August, so we'll look forward to that. Then on the 25th of June, I attended the inaugural RTAG meeting as an observer. 26th of June, I had a monthly meeting with the CEO. 1st of July, local roads group meeting, followed by the corporate discussion session. 2nd of July, I had a meeting with the Ed Department representatives and the new Ravensthorpe District High School principal, who starts next week when term 3 goes back. So that's pretty exciting. And 12th of July, attended the Mungling Up exhibition match. So yeah, well done to them.
In the 10.
Well, I did 10.
Kick a few snags.
I kicked 1 point actually. So wasn't my best day out, but well done to the Mungling Up community group, and everyone involved in that event. It was really good. So yeah, that was me for the month.
Can I just add one more thing?
Yep.
At the Walga meeting, Matt spoke to the CEO of Albany and Jerramunga, and through that they've organised to get together and try and push for the South Coast Highway upgrade. So hopefully we can keep pushing down this road, and so that was a big plus that came out of that meeting as well.
We've already had one meeting of that group, and we've got another meeting on Monday with the main roads reps for both Esperance and Albany. So.
Yep.
I think it became pretty apparent in that meeting, if we don't keep pushing it, it's just not on state government's radar to really do much with it, because the 25 million committed is going to do about 12 kilometres or something like that right down the Albany end. So
I'm not even going to do that.
Yeah, there's a long way to go before the rest of the road improves. So we'll keep pushing that one. Anyway, all right, now. 0.9 nil, 0.10 nil now. We get on to 11.1. Ravensthorpe Local Emergency Management Committee. So we are receiving the unconfirmed minutes of the Local Emergency Management Committee meeting held on the 4th of June 2025. Do we have a mover for those? Thanks, Councillor Gibson. Seconder. Councillor Miliceski. Anyone want to speak on that one? Nope. All in favour? Yep, that's carried. 11.2, Ravensthorpe Tourism Advisory Group. This is another committee of council. And so that we received the unconfirmed minutes of the Ravensthorpe Tourism Advisory Group meeting held on the 25th of June 2025. We have a mover for that one. Move Councillor Richardson, seconded Councillor Layton. Anyone like to speak on that one?
This is a good group to have in place, and it should be some good outcomes for the community from that lead.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks, Councillor Richardson. Well said. All in favour of that one? Yep. That's carried. All right. 12.2.1 monthly financial report for 30th of June 2025. That we received the June 2025 monthly financial reports as presented. A mover for that one. Councillor Gibson, seconder. Councillor Moody. Anyone want to speak on that one? No. All in favour? Yep. It's carried. 12.2.2 schedule of account payments for June 2025. That council, pursuant to Regulation 13 of the Local Government Financial Management Regulations 1996, the payment of accounts for the month of June 2025 be noted. Move Councillor Richardson, seconder. Councillor Gibson, anyone want to speak on that motion? No, all in favour? That's carried. Right, 12.3.1, portions of reserve 7853 and unallocated Crown land, excision and amalgamation into reserve 7377 and request for management order with power to lease. Right, so the recommendation is that Council, point 1, approve a request to be submitted to the Department of Planning, Lands and Heritage for the excision and amalgamation of a portion of reserve 7853 and unallocated Crown land into reserve 7377. Point 2, approve a request to be submitted to the Department of Planning, Lands and Heritage for a management order with a power to lease for a portion of reserve 7853 on DP 035207 lot 1527 and a change of purpose and / or to use for tourism or to tourism. Point 3, approve costs associated with the advertising and administration associated with the application. Right, we'll move those 3 points on block. Do we have a mover for that one? I move Councillor Mansell, a seconder. Councillor Moody. Anyone want to speak on that motion? No, all in favour? Yep, that's carried. 13.3.2, reserve 47050, request to change management order to include power to lease. So recommendation that council approve a request to be submitted to the Department of Planning, Lands and Heritage for the addition of the power to lease to its existing management order for reserve 47050 West River. Move for that one. Move Councillor Layton, seconder. Councillor Miliceski. Anyone want to speak on that one? No. All in favour? Yep, that's carried. All right, 12.4 nil, 13 nil, 14 nil, 15.1. So it's a matter relating to commercial in confidence. So we'll move. We go behind closed doors for that. Move for that. Move Councillor Gibson, second. Councillor Layton in favour. Yep. So just ask the public gallery to just step outside for a few minutes while we discuss this one. You are welcome to stick around and come back in when we finish for a chat after the meeting if you like. But yeah, we just need to ask you to step outside for this item. the public gallery. So we're out behind closed doors now. So I move to point 16, which is closure of the meeting. So
36.
announce the meeting closed at 6:36. So